I'm Bruce Kiesling, music director and conductor of the Adrian Symphony Orchestra. As you can imagine, I'm a big fan of orchestral music. But my favorite kind of music is music that tells a story. And today, we have a very special story for you called Peter and the Wolf. And not only is this a wonderful story, but there's also music that goes along with our story. And every character in our story is represented by a different member of our orchestra. So our main character, Peter, is represented by the entire string section. Our bird is represented by a flute. Our duck is represented by the oboe. Our cat, represented by the clarinet. And grandfather by our bassoon. Our wolf is represented by the French horn. Now that was the sound of one French horn, which sounds menacing, of course, but our composer is very clever. And to tell the story of our wolf, he uses not one French horn, or not even two, but a combination of 3 French horns. And that sounds like this. So you can hear that combination is even more frightening and scary for our wolf in our story. And finally, our hunters are represented by another brass instrument, in this case, the trumpet. And now for our story. Early one morning, Peter opened the gate and went out into the big green meadow. On the branch of a big tree sat a little bird. "All is quiet," chirped the bird happily. Just then, a duck came waddling around. She was glad that Peter had left the gate open, and she decided to take a swim in the big pond in the meadow. Seeing the duck, the little bird flew down next to her on the grass and shrugged his shoulders. "What kind of a bird are you if you can't fly?" said the bird. To this, the duck replied, "Well, what kind of a bird are you if you can't swim?" And she dived into the water. They argued and argued, the duck swimming in the pond and the little bird hopping along the shore. Suddenly, something caught Peter's attention. He noticed a cat crawling through the tall grass. The cat thought, "The bird is busy arguing. I'll just sneak up and grab him." And so she stealthily approached the bird on her velvet paws. "Look out!" shouted Peter. And the bird immediately flew up into the tree. While the duck quacked angrily at the cat from the middle of the pond. The cat slowly walked around the tree, looking up at the bird. Is it really worth climbing up that tree so high? By the time I get there, the cat thought, the bird will have flown away. Grandfather came out. He was angry with Peter for going out into the meadow. "It is a dangerous place," thought Grandfather. "What if a wolf should come out of the woods? What then?" Peter paid no attention to his grandfather. Boys like him were not afraid of wolves. But grandfather took Peter by the hand, locked the gate, and led him home. No sooner had Peter gone than a big gray wolf came out of the forest. In a twinkling, the cat climbed up the tree. The duck quacked and, in her excitement, jumped out of the pond. But no matter how the duck tried to run, she couldn't escape the wolf. He was getting nearer and nearer, catching up to her. And then he got her, and with one gulp, swallowed her. And now, this is how things stood. The cat sitting on one branch of the tree. The bird on another, not too close to the cat. And the wolf walked around and around the tree, staring up at them with greedy eyes. Peter, without the slightest fear, was standing behind the gate watching all that was going on. He ran home, grabbed a strong rope, and climbed up the stone wall. One of the branches of the tree that the wolf was walking around extended over the stone wall. Grabbing hold of the branch, Peter carefully climbed out onto the tree. Peter said to the bird, "Fly down and circle round the wolf's head. Just be careful he doesn't catch you." The bird almost touched the wolf's head with his wings as the wolf snapped this way and that, trying to catch him. How the bird did worry the wolf. He wanted to catch him, but the bird was clever, and the wolf just couldn't do anything about it. Meanwhile, Peter had made a lasso and carefully lowered it down. He caught the wolf by the tail, and he pulled with all his might. Feeling himself caught, the wolf began to jump wildly, trying to get loose. But Peter tied the other end of the rope to the tree. And the wolf's jumping just made the rope tighter around his tail. Just then, the hunters came out of the woods. They were following the wolf's trail and shooting as they went. But Peter, sitting in the tree, said, "Don't shoot! Birdie and I have caught the wolf. All that remains is for you to help us take him to the zoo." And there, imagine the triumphant procession. Peter in the lead. The hunters leading the wolf. And winding up the procession, Grandfather and the cat. Grandfather tossed his head discontentedly. Well, what if Peter hadn't caught the wolf? What then? Above them flew Birdie, chirping merrily. My, what brave characters we are! Look what we have done, capturing the wolf. And if one were to listen very carefully, just make out the sound of the duck quacking inside the wolf's stomach. because in his hurry, he had swallowed her alive.